I have a love-hate relationship with Screech's sprint. It's that infuriating combination of challenge and fun. It makes you want to throw your controller at the TV, but it's super addictive as well. This is part 40 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 2. So Stronghold Showdown was a bust, and DK slipped through our fingers. We watched Captain Krool ascend the rope ladder to his flying supervillain fortress, the Flying Croc, and give chase. Might seem like a bit of a waste to have a whole new world just for one level, but as some of you may know, Rareware was kicking around the idea of a 7th world during development. It would have been sky themed, and I'm assuming a secondary theme of the airship would have been there too, but ultimately it was scrapped. Time constraints, a lack of ideas, I don't know. Based on my very limited knowledge of DKC2's development, it seems like a few things were cut due to time constraints, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that was the case here. It looks like it would have been a sort of combination of chimpanzee clouds and the Zeppelin areas of Big Ape City, both from Donkey Kong Land. More than a couple of new ideas introduced in Donkey Kong Land were refined for DKC2, so that doesn't surprise me. Screech's sprint is one of the best looking levels in the game. For whatever reason, Donkey Kong Country 2 has always felt like an autumn game, if that makes sense. And that aesthetic is exemplified here, with the orange brambles and foliage against the soft purple sky. It isn't the iconic bramble aesthetic, but it's a great twist on it. The level itself, as mentioned in the intro, is heaps of fun, but also one of the most frustrating parts of the game, second only to animal antics. The first chunk plays out like a fairly normal level, with Cat O' being the biggest threat here, but the level itself doesn't really start until you've hit the halfway barrel and turned into squawks. A little ways on, the game locks the screen and a countdown light appears. Once you see that green light, you're racing against Screech to the end of the level. If the thorns along the borders weren't bad enough, the race is full of red and yellow zingers, sometimes moving around the space, sometimes completely blocking your way. The race also has diverging paths from time to time, so not only are you racing against the clock, not only are you trying to avoid literally everything, you're also charting a course through the maze on the fly. Screech's sprint doesn't feel like a final level to me, and I think that's reflective of its origins as a surviving piece of a world that was originally much bigger. Toxic Tower feels like the last true level to me, and this is a sort of, I don't know, extra phase of the boss fight, maybe a mini boss before the main event. You can agree or disagree. I know my opinion here isn't shared by everyone. While it isn't stated anywhere, Screech, to me, feels like the parrot that would sit on the captain's shoulder. You can make the argument that he's a sort of Bizarro Squawks, the Wario to his Mario, the Waluigi to his regular Luigi. I'm not making that argument, but it's there if anyone wants it. His race has unique music, which adds to the feeling of Screech being a sort of mini-boss. That's all I've got. Alright, part 40 down, and nothing between us and Krool. Let's get after it.